evening. Hello! Ah, you can just see. Oh, wow, look at that. I am in the dark. Wowie. Okay. Bear with me just for a minute. Let's see what's happening right now. So, yeah, this is not our typical Thursday night setup. It's 150 million degrees out. And look, Scarlett did not want to come out to play tonight. She just didn't. So she's in the background. She's actually in the background. Thought that it would be really fun to give you guys an up close and personal look at like what she looks like in the off season, if that makes sense. How is everyone? Who's here with me? Hi. Oh my goodness. This is different. Okay, so I also, I was kind of wrestling with the computer all day today. I've been wrestling with this computer today because it too has been feeling the summer heat and not in a fun way. Hello, Cartoon Saloon. Welcome. How are you? So, howdy. Wait a minute. I gotta see this profile picture. I love it. I love the profile picture. So, yeah, this is different tonight. Usually I look like, on these nights, I look like her. But right now, absolutely not. Absolutely not, because she takes a good 2 hours to do, and I think it topped out at like 108 today. Still 104 right now. Crazy Bish, hey, over on Twitch, how's it going? I'm an inspiration, by the way. Oh, why thank you, Cartoon Saloon. Why am I an inspiration? What's going on with that? So yeah, typically on Thursday nights, I'm dressed as the Lady Scarlett Nightshade, and I have a British / transatlantic accent. Emily the Artiste resubscribed over on Twitch. Thank you so much. It's so heckin' rude outside. Yes, it is. So incredibly rude. That was rude. That was pretty fucking rude. Yeah. So, so tonight's definitely different. But I actually wasn't even going to stream at all until about a couple hours ago. The temp should be illegal. Hey, beautiful. All right. So, I'm not particularly feeling beautiful today, but I got some tea. I got some stuff. You love Lady Scarlett Nightshade. You want to do stuff like that. It's influenced your performance. Wow, that's amazing, Cartoon Saloon. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm almost feeling bad that I'm not in costume right now. Wow. Thank you. So okay. So talk to me, guys. While I get the tea. And you know what, Cartoon Saloon and anybody else who's on stream right now, like anybody who's on Patreon, we're not really pushing Patreon right now either because that got suspended. The hackers got to it all, finally. They've reached the final boss level of hacking and got to the livelihood. So, for those of you who are supporting in other ways right now, thank you very much because there's no ETA on getting that back either right now. It's great. So, yeah. So Lady Scarlett is still here. She's just here in a different capacity. We do have other tea. And, it's not every day that you guys actually get a close-up of what she looks like. So, if you have any questions about anything that I'm doing as far as Thursday night reading nights, as far as music, as far as anything, it's cool to see me out of character. Why, thank you. I feel a lot cooler I feel a lot cooler than I would have if I had had 4 layers of skirts on. And fangs. And the makeups of it all. Okay. So we do have some tea. And now, Emily, should I give them all of the tea, or are we still waiting on that part of the tea? But this tea that I have right in front of me is very exciting. We'll peer into the grimoire for a moment. Oh, thank you for the heart. Thank you for gifting. You say spill it. Spill it all. All right. Well, first and foremost, speaking of tea, let's get promo stuff out of the way first. Do some housekeeping. So, into the harbor. That's right. Speaking of tea in the harbor, did you know there's no tax on tea? And as a matter of fact, our best sale of the summer is coming up on in Tea Pendants Day at bloodthirsttea.com. So make sure to check that out. And if you haven't already done so, head over to bloodthirsttea.com and sign up for our mailing list so you don't miss the drop on that coupon code starting at midnight on July 4th. A Mary of Rain, hello, beautiful. Oh my goodness, it's been a little bit. Thank you for the heart. All right, so that's the housekeeping out of the way. So you all know, here's the tea. Here's the tea that I just received today. Out of freaking nowhere. As a matter of fact, I guess all of our tea is coming out of nowhere this week. So, all right, you're gonna lose me for a second because my voiceover mic stand is all the way over here. Okay, so you all know that Bloodline was released in paperback in October of last year, and official launch happened on February. We actually unboxed copies of the book together on stream for the first time in February. And so I do have copies available to sign if somebody would like to get those. But today is another very special day for Bloodline. You're loving your book? Oh, you're about to love it a hell of a lot more, because this very afternoon in my breakfast nook, as I was wrestling with all of the computers and the things and the heat of it all, guess what else happened? Bloodline is also now available worldwide on Kindle. Just dropped. Available on Kindle for $4.99. Less than $5, y'all. Less than $5. And now, on Thursday nights, you can grab your copy of Bloodline right there on stream for less than the cost of a cup of coffee and read along with the Lady Scarlett. And once we get Patreon back, that playlist that you're listening to right now underneath my voice is going on the Patreon book club as exclusive musical read-along downloads for you. So it's real. It's real. So now we have multi-format publishing. I'm so excited. So having said that, perhaps we shall do a little bit of reading tonight out of the Kindle. What? Out of the grimoire? Tori! Hello, beautiful. Welcome. It's been real. Yeah, right? Really real. Okay. All right. Ladies and gents. I have another piece of news. Oh yeah, Mooney says. Oh yeah, super real. Yeah, real a couple of times over. I'll tell you what. Look at this. I don't even have my key light in this room. This is crazy town. Crazy town. I'm using my cell phone flashlight right now to illuminate me. Because it's all I got within arm's reach. I am so not here right now. Okay. 42 months resubbing on Twitch. Waifu, what is that? Okay. So, here's the beautiful cover to Bloodline. Right there. So proud of this right now, guys. I am so freaking proud of this. You couldn't hear anything? Oh, I'm sorry. Yay, it's so pretty. It's so parties. Okay. Gorgeous woman. Oh, I love you. I love you. You're a gorgeous woman. You're the gorgeous one. Okay. So, once again, $5. Link in bio. 4 years, right? Right. It is the answer to the questions of the life, universe, and everything. Okay. Let me get the link to the book. Or unless, you know what? No, mods have that. Mods have the link to the book. I don't have to worry about that tonight, right? You're so freaking proud of me? Oh, I'm freaking proud of you too. Thank you. I'm so happy that you guys like the book. I'm really, really happy that you like the book. I saw that there was some beach reading going on over the weekend featuring Bloodline. Okay, so now that we have a couple more people in here, I will drop the second piece of publishing news. Thank you, Mooney. Appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about dropping links right now. Okay, so here's the second piece of news. Yes, there was. Good, good. Now I have to ask you, how far did you get? How far into it did you get before you passed out in the sun? You have it? All right, sweet. Thank you. Yeah, and if there's a way to pin that comment to the top that was pasted in there while we're waiting for Amber to come in on TikTok, I'd appreciate that. Okay. So the second piece of news. For those of you who have been around a while, you remember the Siren Captain, right? Chapter 4 or 5? Sweet. Good, because I'm hoping that's about as far as we're going to get tonight in this when we start doing some reading. So if you remember way back when, the Siren Captain, right? Green head to toe. Green, starring Green, featuring Green, directed by Green, produced by Glitter. Yeah? And special contributions by Velvet and Real Fishhook Epaulets, okay? On this thing. Completely 1000% handcrafted costume. Wig. Wig received a makeover because she's coming back. And the reason that she's coming back, sponsored by Glitter, right? Chapter 2 or 3. Excellent. Okay. So then you could do for a refresher tonight. That makes me happy. So, okay. Yeah, the wig got a makeover because she is coming back to content. I've started releasing some older reels out on socials and on YouTube. The socials that we have left right now. And so you can actually go back and see that content that was created with her. She's received quite a bit of a makeover. She gets a glow up every year and a half or so. And I think this most recent glow up, though, I'm really, really happy with her now, and I don't think we're gonna do any more makeovers on her. I sound so quiet. Yeah, I know I do. I know I do, because my microphone's way over here. Because I was in the middle of doing projects. Is that better? Now that I'm screaming into it, practically. Let me see if I can fix that. Hold on. This is what happens when you use a $300 mic. And the sound pattern's really tiny. How's that? How's that, you guys? How's that? Oh, good. Now you can see Scarlett back there too, on the wig stand. Okay. All right. So, all right. Good. Better. Okay. Yeah, I figured as much. I figured it would be to have the mic, somewhere in proximity to my mouth. That's always a good thing when I'm speaking, right? Oh, Amber. Okay. Okay. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Well then, can you paste that comment that's in our mod chat? Can you paste that in and then pin it every few minutes, please? Okay. So we've got a couple of we've had some, a little bit of a resurgence of our lovely lady in green. Yeah. Our captain of all she surveys. And one of the things that I do in all of these little characters that I present online is that they're all facets of this one diamond, right? But they all represent a different pillar of the Siren universe. And this microphone is brand new. I can't be doing that. Oh my god. Okay. So, yeah. I'm a hot mess tonight. Wow. Okay. I don't care. All right. So, Lady Scarlett she's my appreciation for steampunk, anachronism, period costuming, narration, voiceover, and she's also the spokeswoman of Nightshade and Company, right? So she serves a lot of purposes. Well, the Siren Captain is very intentional in that way as well. Not only is she a vehicle for makeup work and costuming work, and character work and comedy and all that, but she also brings in, she's got one bright green eye, and she has another eye that is a pearl. It's just a white blank pearl, which is what we like to call the pearl of wisdom. And it's kind of like she's got the all-seeing eye, right? And so she delivers Siren's pearls of wisdom. 2 years ago, Emily the Artiste, Mel's, I don't think Mel's is here right now, and I started a collaborative project on an intention-setting program centered around the pearls of wisdom. And it's called Siren's Deep Dive. And it was in production for 2 years. And the reason I say is because last week, out of absolute nowhere, Siren's Deep Dive 5-step intention planner also was released to the public. So now there are 2 books. One of which is on Kindle. How exciting. So, there's a lot going on. There's a lot to look forward to. Life is real good. Real good. And there's just so much to be happy about, so much to be thankful for right now. So we'll be sending out some more information about that. Those of you who are, since Patreon is kind of shut down right now, those of you who are in the private Discord server associated with Patreon, you're all still there. So you guys will be getting the first looks and the first information about that as we get closer to a release, an official release date on that. But it's been lots of fun. It's been lots of fun trying to remember what we were all doing with it 18 months ago. Yay! Okay. So there it is. So there's the news. There's the tea. There's the tea. So having said that, shall we all settle in? Who's going to go pick up their copy of Bloodline? If you have your copy, go grab it. And if you don't have your copy, now you can get it on Kindle for $4.99. Or if you have Kindle Unlimited, get it through your Kindle Unlimited subscription for $0. That's part of your plan. It's called Bloodline, Book 1 of the Nightshade Chronicles by yours truly, Heather O'Day. And this is actually the backstory. This book, this novel, is the backstory that introduces this entire universe to you and gives you real solid backstory and gives you real solid lore about what this is all about. Yeah? And how much fun we have here. Still can't believe it's been almost 2 years, right? I know, Crystal, what is that? What even is that? Hey, Mackenzie. Oh, it is real. It's super real. It's been a ride. Tell me about it. All right. So, what do you say we all settle in? Grab your copy of Bloodline. I'll wait. It's all good. I will wait for you. And let's read Bloodline together for the first time. What do you say? Sound like fun? Sound like a deal? Oh yeah, the playlist is still going. BRB. All right. BRB, she says. Hell yeah. Yeah, she is coming to visit soon. I know, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to seeing her. Okay. Let's do it. Mooney says, all right, let's do it. Do it to it. And I'll only be doing this for a little bit. We'll get through a chapter or two tonight, and then we'll move it right along. Because there's so much more coming around the bend, you guys. OMG. I feel like the this 12-headed hydra of internet hacking and identity theft that's been going on for 5 weeks now is over. Finally. So I feel okay. I feel okay to move forward with all of those plans that we had. And boy, am I excited to drop all this crazy content for you guys. I'm editing it this week. I've been working on some really cool website upgrades this week. I've been working on booking. I've been working on booking music and getting back to working on that book signing tour for you guys. I'm very, very excited about that one, I will tell you. You have it on top of the icebox on your black... Perfect. Well, good. It always needs to be. Drop it like it's hot, McFly. Hey, sweetheart. Okay, so, all right, for those of you who have just come in, hello, good evening, how are you? So happy to see you. All right, so here's the tea. Here's the tea one more time. So, I think everybody in the chat right now was on the stream where we did unbox the physical copies of the Bloodline paperback, the first novel. And so tonight's announcement, the last minute news that I got today, is that Bloodline is now available on Kindle. It's now the ebook version. So now we have 2 different formats of the first novel. How exciting! How exciting is that? How happy is that? So now you can pick up your copy of Bloodline for less than the cost of a cup of coffee. Unless you want to miss out and not have my signature on a book. Feels so good to have the planner here too. I know. Isn't that just incredible? I know. Emily's already received her copy. Mel's has already received her copy. I ordered the author copy version, so mine's going to take several weeks, but I'm also doing the one being on film and filming the content for it. Ugh. So, yes, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's super a lot. So, but I had to get online tonight and I had to show you all the ebook. So I understand that there are a couple of people in the chat who are going and grabbing their ebook right now, are grabbing their physical copies so that we can all read together for a chapter or two until we are sick of it. Because it was 107.8 today. Ugh. McFly, what was the weather like out in your neck of the woods today? Because, you have your physical copy. Yes, you do. And speaking of getting back to the plans that we had before the hacking, the great hacking of 2025, those of you who did obtain physical copies before the entire date night with the book was created and published, you will be receiving all of your little date night with the book goodies in the mail. Now I can get back to this stuff, so I'm very happy about that. Okay. All right, my lovelies. Oh, that's disgusting. Really? It's disgusting. I'm so sorry. See, I could do it. I could do it without the humidity. I mean, it's exactly what I did today without the humidity, 108-ish. Yeah. I'm sorry, dear. I'm so sorry. Oh. Say it with me. Summer is gross. Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst. It's all right, though. It's all right, though. I've already melted. I've already melted into this. Yeah, I'll bet it does. Grody to the max. Somebody just watched Neon Girls content. Yeah, see, I don't know though. I like the humidity. I do like the humidity to extent, right? I like humidity at sea level because it does this really cool wavy thing to me. I don't know. Does anybody else get that? Like when you get the moisture, you get the really cool waves going on where otherwise it's just stick straight and nothing happening to it. I mean, my hair's dead enough anyway. I change its color every week and a half, so. And now I'm gonna put it back up because it's still too freaking hot in here. Okay. Oh, you used to say it years ago? Yeah, I think we all said it years ago, honey. I think we all said it years ago. No, the Neon Girls. I can never remember her name. The one that does Hot Looks Donna. That one. The hair salon girl. She calls all of her girls the Neon Girls. All right, and if you do end up getting a copy of the e-book, if you grab it on Kindle during the stream at some point tonight, please do something in the chat to indicate that you've done so, because I have no way of seeing that. That's my only regret in this, is that as far as the Kindle version of things, unless you tell me that you got it, we can't celebrate you. It keeps cutting out? Why does it? Okay, wait a minute, Tori. What do you mean your TikTok doesn't want you to watch the live? Either that or, don't come to TikTok, come over to either YouTube or to Twitch. Okay. Okay. All right, my lovelies. Shall we begin? Shall we pretend that I'm actually recording this audiobook finally? Because, yeah, that's going to be format number 3 for this is audiobook. We need to have audiobook. Okay. All right. Are we all settled in? Do we all have our books? Are we all caffeinated? Do we all have something to sip? I actually had a bout of heat exhaustion last week, so I am living off of Gatorade right now. And then we'll begin without the British accent. Might as well, Crystal says. Crystal's like, I've been here for all of 30 minutes and you've done nothing. Appease me. Do we have a beverage? Are we cozy? Emily the artiste says. Oh, waifu, I love you. Okay. Well then. Let me drop my voice into my narrator voice and we'll settle down. This is NPR. It keeps freezing on your end. Oh, please don't tell me it's a stupid VPN. Please hold. Nope, the VPN is off. Okay. It's hot out. Drink your water. No, drink your electrolytes. Water doesn't cut it. Water doesn't cut it, baby. Okay. So I'm going to settle in for this very first reading of the ebook version of Bloodline. Can we all feel settled now? Are we all settled? Are we all ready? Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have any solution as far as freezing, cutting in and out. It is what it is. Our internet provider is going through upgrades and they keep sending us countdown emails about it. And I'm just going, please just do it. All right, everyone. I don't know why I'm doing anything to my head. I have a disgusting ponytail. Okay, both is good, yes. All right. I'm calm if you're calm, and I'm ready to start reading. Here we are. Bloodline by Heather O'Day. Long live Oceana. Hello, 'cause I'm bored. All right. Prologue. Tonight. The voice echoed through the ancient forest, its timbre blending with the rustle of leaves and the distant call of nocturnal creatures. A pup has come to demonstrate loyalty to the pack. The moon, a slender crescent, cast a soft glow over the stone circle where the figure stood, shrouded in the cloak of twilight. A nubile young woman, not yet 19, her heart pounding in her chest, stepped forward. The elders, their faces obscured by shadows, turned towards her, their eyes glinting. In the center of the circle, an altar carved from ancient stone bore symbols that whispered of old magic and older pacts. A child watched in wide-eyed wonder as the young woman loosened her hair and ceremonial robes before the elders. As the child held back a coo of curiosity, she wondered if her own body would look like her mother's one day. The air was thick with anticipation. and as the woman approached the altar, she could feel the weight of centuries bearing down upon her. The ritual, a rite of passage and a reaffirmation of alliances long forged, was about to begin. With a deep breath, the woman extended her hand, where a single drop of blood, a symbol of her lineage and her commitment, glistened in the moonlight. As it fell onto the ancient stone, the forest seemed to hold its breath, and a surge of power, primal and untamed, coursed through the clearing. With a small rock, crudely sharp, the child drew a line across her palm, the pain a stark, bright thing against the night's embrace, and the child's alabaster skin. The blood dripped onto a dead leaf at her feet. "By blood and moon, by land and sea," the elders intoned, their voices rising in a chant that seemed as old as time itself. "We call upon the Ancient Ones, guardians of the balance, to witness this vow and to bind it with the forces that weave the fabric of our world." The ground beneath the child's feet vibrated with energy, and the air shimmered with a light that had no source. In that moment, she felt a connection to her ancestors, a lineage of power and responsibility that stretched back into the mists of time. As the ritual concluded, the forest exhaled, the tension dissipating like mist at dawn. The lichens faded into the edges of the thicket. The unnoticed child strode alone to the center of the stone circle, her tiny, irrevocably entwined with the forces that governed the supernatural world. The path ahead was fraught with challenges and dangers, but she was ready. She was an outcast, surely, but still a nightshade, a wolfsbane, a child of the Ancient Ones. If nobody wanted her, then likewise, she would give no quarter. And that's the end of the prologue. Woo! Is this a D&D thing? No, this is not a D&D thing, Cousin Board. This is what we call the Siren Universe, and this is me. Hi, my name is Siren, and I do all kinds of things. I'm a musician, I'm a singer, I'm a voiceover artist, I'm a makeup artist, I am a costumer, content creator, kind of a Jill of all creative trades, right? And at the end of last year, I published my first novel, and tonight I am on telling everybody that it's on Kindle as of today. Yay! Hi, Clements. So no, it's not a D&D thing. No. It's not even a VTM thing. This is where the magic happens. Yes, it is. That is where the magic happens. See what happens when I lower my voice? I get, ooh. All that energy just goes, Yeah. So, thanks for the question, though. That's I do live readings in costume, usually on Thursday nights. I do this girl right here. This is the Lady Scarlett Nightshade. This is one of my favorite ones to do. She is kind of like this living anachronism. She is a half werewolf, half vampire. Super fun. Super fun. And so she's kind of the main character of this. And so I think everybody, perhaps other than you, Board, I think everybody has either read or heard chapter 1. Shall we move to chapter 2 today? Throw some hearts in the chat if you would like to do chapter 2 and skip chapter 1. Because according to the Amazon rules, I'm only allowed to read 10% of the book at a time. I'm only allowed to advertise 10% at a time. Which is very interesting. So, if that's what we should do, just skip right on to chapter 2. Let me know. Yeah, Mooney says skip to chapter 2. Crystal says skip. Kenzie says skip. Who else? Who else is skipping? Who else wants to skip to chapter 2? I know. Well, I think it's because it's a little bit of exclusivity. It's exclusivity in exchange for guerrilla marketing, as far as I understand. So yeah, let's move on to chapter 2 then. Hmm? Oh, babies. All right. I can't wait. I can't wait to show you all the content that I've got for this. Coming around the bend. I'm so excited. Yeah, you know what? We're going to move on to chapter 2 because none of you have ever heard me read chapter 2 live. And you all need to. Especially whilst I am recording the audio book. So you guys get it ahead of the audiobook. How exciting. Do you even understand how thrilling it was to say read by the author? You're going to have to plug your ears if we're skipping. Why? Waifu, you've had it longer than anybody. And you haven't cracked it open past chapter 1 yet. I love you. I love you for that. What's that Japanese term for somebody who just collects books in the hopes of reading them and adds to their collection in the hopes of reading them someday? Exciting. So exciting. It was so fun. So much fun. I don't know. I'm going to turn off the view count on here, though, because I don't know if it's accurate. It's fine. It doesn't have to be. All right. All right. Ahem. Waifu, I'm sorry. You're just going to have to crack your book open and read. Read along. Here we go. Chapter 2. Whispers of the Ancient. And then I think after this we'll say goodbye if people don't have questions about what I do or me or anything or the book. Okay. Chapter 2. Whispers of the Ancient. Scarlett's return to her high-rise haven was marked by an unsettling silence, but her thoughts briefly lingered on a marvel of the modern world, the elevator. She stepped into the smooth metal box, its brushed steel walls reflecting a distorted version of her image. The faint hum of the machinery vibrated through the soles of her boots as the doors slid shut with a soft hiss, sealing her in. Despite the faint irritation lingering from the night's events, she found herself momentarily distracted by the elevator's familiar mechanics. It was strange, really. Scarlett had no need for such a device. The speed at which she could move when she allowed her supernatural abilities to surface far exceeded that of any machine. In an instant, she could be at the top of the building, effortlessly gliding through the shadows, invisible to the world around her. But there was something about the elevator that had always fascinated her, ever since its invention. Her mind drifted back to the late 19th century, to the first time she had encountered an elevator in New York City. The Otis safety elevator had been a revelation, a contraption that could lift people effortlessly to great heights, as though mimicking her own powers. She remembered watching it rise, the creak of iron and the mechanical clatter echoing through the narrow shaft, and how she had marveled at humanity's ingenuity. At the time, she had mused how mortals, so fragile and bound by gravity, had found a way to touch the sky. Now, centuries later, elevators had become sleek, fast, nearly silent. Scarlett ran her fingers lightly along the cool steel railing inside the car, feeling the gentle hum of the machinery through her fingertips. It amused her how close these modern lifts came to matching her own supernatural speed. They could ascend dozens of floors in mere seconds, and though they would never truly match her abilities, she found a certain charm in their efficiency. It was a kind of progress she appreciated, the mechanical world moving faster and faster, always striving to catch up with beings like her. She had no need to take the elevator, yet she did so often. There was something about the simplicity of it, the way the doors would open with a quiet ding, and the ascent began, lifting her away from the chaotic world below. It gave her a moment of stillness, a pocket of time to gather her thoughts, to experience something mundane before stepping back into her carefully constructed world of magic and ancient secrets. As the elevator hummed softly around her, rising steadily toward her apartment, she felt the familiar sensation of anticipation in her chest, the brief seconds when the air grew heavier, her body adjusting to the ascent. It was a faint echo of the power she held within herself, the same force that allowed her to move with preternatural speed, to disappear in the blink of an eye. She wondered, as she often did, how much further technology would evolve. Would there come a time when humanity's machines could truly rival the abilities of her kind? Would there be a day when these devices could move as swiftly as she did, their precision and efficiency outpacing even her supernatural gifts? The elevator slowed as it reached the top floor, the faintest deceleration that would be imperceptible to anyone else. To Scarlett, it was as familiar as the slowing of her own pulse, a signal that the ride was nearly over. The doors slid open with a soft chime, and she stepped out, the cool air of the hallway wrapping around her like a welcoming shadow. Scarlett stepped out of the elevator into the dim hallway that led to her sanctuary, her boots making soft, deliberate sounds on the polished stone floor. As she approached the heavy oak door of her apartment, her fingers brushed the ornate handle, a relic from another century, salvaged from the grand estate that had long since crumbled to dust. A door opened with a gentle creak, and Scarlett crossed the threshold into a realm where time lost its meaning. Her apartment was a place out of step with the modern world, a carefully curated collection of objects and memories from ages past. Every detail had been meticulously selected to reflect her complex identity, a woman who straddled the line between two worlds, both supernatural and mortal, ancient and contemporary. Scarlett moved through the space with the ease of someone who had arranged every item, every artifact with personal care. The apartment was an extension of herself, a living museum of her past lives. The furniture was heavy, ornate, decidedly Victorian, an era she had a particular fondness for. Dark mahogany chairs with velvet cushions sat in front of the hearth, the legs carved with intricate patterns of vines and leaves. A chaise longue, again upholstered in that insinuated deep emerald, rested beneath one of the tall windows, its surface worn smooth from years of use. She liked to keep the air thick with the smell of something older, something that reminded her of the libraries and salons that she had once frequented in the great cities of Europe, Paris, Vienna, London. Her collection of books was vast, filling entire shelves that lined the walls. Some were written in languages that no one but Scarlett could decipher, their brittle pages detailing spells, prophecies, histories long forgotten by the mortal world. Others were journals, her own careful records of centuries gone by, observations of empires that had risen and fallen, and the people she had watched drift in and out of her life like leaves on the wind. The apartment was more than just a space for Scarlett to live. It was a fortress of memory, a sanctuary where she could retreat from the chaos of the outside world and reconnect with the essence of who she was. It was a place where time bent to her will, where the centuries overlapped and converged. To anyone else, the apartment might feel suffocating, the weight of history pressing down on them like a heavy cloak. But for Scarlett, it was her home, a space that reflected her own fragmented, timeless existence. The apartment was filled with relics, items that had traveled through time with Scarlett, their histories entwined with her own. Old pocket watches with intricate gears exposed, brass compasses that no longer pointed north, and textiles of immeasurable worth and impossibly preserved. On one shelf, a brass astrolabe sat, its complex gears and dials a testament to ancient science and navigation. Nearby, a collection of crystal decanters sparkled faintly in the low light, their contents long since evaporated, but the memory of fine wines and centuries-old liquors still clinging to them like ghosts of the past. Yet, for all its grandeur and richness, the apartment was also a place of solitude. The walls, with all their history, echoed with the quiet of someone who had lived too long and seen too much. Scarlett often found herself lost in the silence, her thoughts drifting to places and people who no longer existed. The apartment, with all its relics of the past, was both a comfort and a reminder of time's inexorable march and of the loneliness that came with being an immortal witness to it all. What do we think so far, y'all? Let me check over on the TikTok chats, on the tickety talks. You do the work and too many things, right? I know, Ken's. Well, it's available on Kindle, so get your Kindle. $5? Really? Or if you're a member of Kindle Unlimited, you can get it for free as part of your subscription. You're loving it? Yes, love it. I need you to read all the books to me. Aw, darling. I will, you know. You just gotta you just gotta tell me what titles. I will not read the fairy smut. I will not do it. We don't need to get banned. Maybe that's for something on Patreon. But I will tell you, once we get to chapter 24, chapter 24 is the book talk chapter. A little bit of chapter 14 too, I will say. A little bit. I knew you'd like that one. Hello, Floor. Okay. All right, everybody, grab a sip of something. Like I said, it's my electrolytes. With a coffee chaser. Hush. How's my back? Oh, God. I'm kind of happy that I'm in the dark right now, so you can't see my bruises. It's better. It's better. It can always be better, but, you know, the less I think about it, the less I have, the less it feels. Just like everything else. But I'm okay. Thank you for asking. Okay. We're going to continue on with the chapter. Someone's going to be mad he missed the HSMR. I know. Also, by the way, if you're on Twitch, thank you very much for not making me do a single sentence of this as Cartman. Thank you. I love you for that. Okay. All right. Well, it's just too bad, you know? I mean, it's his loss. He didn't show up, so obviously whatever's happening is more important than me, so that's why all of you are my favorites. You're behaving right. We'll see how long that lasts. I know. Mooney. Reverse psychology. It's a thing. Okay. If you're just joining me for the first time, hello, my name is Siren. Usually on Thursday nights, I moonlight as the Lady Scarlett Nightshade, but not tonight because it was 100,000,000 degrees out today. So I thought it would be more fun to just have Scarlett in the off season on her wig stands because yes, she has multiple looks, just like any good stage show should. She's got multiple looks. This is the one that I like to wear the most. And yes, I dyed my hair silver for this. And yes, I have 3 silver wigs in the other room, all with different styles. All the same color. So that we can have even more multiple changes for her. Because her wardrobe is like, she's a living, breathing thing. Like, as far as this world goes, like this fantasy world goes, she's the living, breathing character, right? She's the one who is the most dynamic. She's the one who participates the most often. She's the one who's my voice. Whereas the others are just like, you know, the trending TikTok sounds or whatever. Also are working on new music. Just wanted to let everybody know that. Listen, I'll do it. Don't threaten me. Don't threaten you with a good time, huh? Come on. Don't you like this voice, though? It's all low and husky and clear. And isn't it dangerous enough on its own? All right. Let's continue on, shall we? Let's continue on. Okay. So yes, it came with the loneliness that came with being an immortal witness to everything. Yeah. Okay. It's sexy. I know. Thank you. I do know that. This voice has taken me across the country into Mexico and has garnered me at least $100,000 through the years. Now, where that $100,000 is right now, I don't know, but we're earning it back. We're earning it back. One stream and one $5 ebook at a time. Okay. Let's continue on, shall we? All right. So, this is the voice that got you. I think this is the voice that sunk 1,000 ships too, somewhere. I don't know. Somewhere. I know this is the voice that got Chrissy. Okay. Continuing on then. It works. Now you're gonna turn me as red as my shirt. Stop. Okay. Alright. Just remember. If it doesn't hurt, you're doing it wrong. But also, no, just remember. Matching power suits. That's the goal. Matching power suits taking the country by storm. All right. Well then. That's what I like to see. Yes. Yes. Yes, take another listen to this next half of the chapter if you didn't have daddy issues before. As she moved towards the center of the room, uh, Mooney. No. Oh, that's funny. Funny. As she moved towards the center of the room. As she moved towards the center of the room, Scarlett caught sight of her own reflection in the Baroque mirror above the fireplace. See how easy I slipped into that one? The image that stared back at her was almost ghostly, her pale skin illuminated by the warm glow of the lamps. Her red eyes, so vivid in contrast to her ashen complexion, seemed to burn with an inner fire, a reminder of the ancient powers that coursed through her veins. She was a relic, like the objects that filled her apartment, a living testament to a world that had long since faded away. But tonight, the peace of her sanctuary was tainted by the events of the evening. The rift in the old quarter, the surge of ancient magic. It was all too familiar, a reminder that the past was never truly gone, and that the forces she had long sought to keep at bay were stirring once more. The apartment, usually so quiet and still, now seemed to hum with tension, as though the very walls were waiting for what came next. Scarlett was lost in the familiar comforts of her home, her mind drifting through the centuries, when the knock came. A sharp, insistent sound that broke the silence like a blade through thin glass. The echo of it seemed to linger, reverberating through the room, making the walls tremble ever so slightly. It was not the gentle knock of a visitor or the hesitant tap of an acquaintance. No, this was something different. The sound carried weight, an undeniable authority that Scarlett recognized all too well. Her hand froze mid-air, fingers grazing the worn edges of an old tome on her desk. For a moment, she remained perfectly still, her senses immediately sharpening. The sudden intrusion set her on edge. This was not a house easily disturbed, and no one dared approach her uninvited without purpose. The silence that followed the knock was thick, heavy with the anticipation of what lay beyond the door. The faint flickering of the alchemical lamps grew dimmer, as if even the light itself recoiled from what was about to enter her domain. Her pulse, which rarely quickened for anything these days, thrummed with irritation and something more, an awareness of what such a knock heralded. The Council of Elders. They hadn't darkened her doorstep in many years, not since they had made their disapproval of her existence clear. And yet, here they were, knocking at her door in the dead of night. With a slow exhale, Scarlett rose from her desk, her movements deliberate, controlled. She crossed the room with measured grace, her boots whispering across the hardwood floors. As she neared the door, she paused, her hand hovering just above the iron handle, her eyes narrowing in thought. It was rare for the council to send an envoy, especially to her. She had no fondness for them, and the feeling was mutual. They viewed her as an anomaly, a creature straddling two worlds, neither fully vampire nor fully lycanthrope, but a dangerous blend of both. The council had always distrusted her, a relic of an ancient truce between rival bloodlines that they preferred to forget. Peering through the peephole, Scarlett's suspicions were confirmed. A figure stood outside, swathed in dark ceremonial robes, their face obscured by the deep hood that shadowed their features. The robe itself was embroidered with symbols, old symbols of power and authority, woven in silver thread that shimmered faintly in the dim light of the hallway. They bore the mark of the Council of Elders. Mods, can we get some help on YouTube, please? Scarlett's grip on the door tightened as she steeled herself for what was to come. She had no desire to entertain the council, but the late hour and the formality of the envoy's presence suggested that whatever this was, it wasn't something that could be ignored. With a smooth motion, she unlocked the door and pulled it open. Cool air from the hallway drifted inside, but it did nothing to chill the heat of her growing irritation. The envoy stood tall and still, their posture rigid with purpose. As they stepped forward into the threshold of her apartment, the flickering light from the alchemical lamps cast their shadow across the floor in long, distorted shapes. The scent of incense clung to their robes, heavy and pungent, a reminder of the rituals and ceremonies that bound the council together. "Lady Nightshade," the envoy said, their voice low and carefully measured, each syllable dripping with formality. There was an air of reverence to their tone, but beneath it, Scarlett detected something sharper, something that spoke of centuries-old grudges and of distrust. "The council has sent me to seek your aid in a matter of grave urgency." The words hung heavy between them, thick with the weight of unspoken history. Scarlett's lips curved into a thin, humorless smile as he leaned against the doorframe, her arms crossing in a gesture of casual indifference. Their council, desperate enough to seek my help, she said, her voice laced with sarcasm. Bear with me just a moment. "This must be important indeed." Her eyes locked onto the envoys, cold and calculating, searching for any hint of weakness. All right. Thank you very much. All right, then. Let's start that paragraph again, shall we? The words hung heavy between them, thick with the weight of unspoken history. Scarlett's lips curved into a thin, humorless smile as she leaned against the doorframe, her arms crossing in a gesture of casual indifference. "The council! Desperate enough to seek my help," she said, her voice laced with sarcasm. "Oh, this must be important indeed." Her eyes locked onto the envoys, cold and calculating, searching for any hint of weakness or deception. The council rarely asked for help, especially not from someone like Scarlett, whom they viewed as a dangerous outlier. For them to approach her now meant that something had shifted. Something had rattled the foundations of their power, and they needed her to fix it. The envoy's face remained unreadable, but Scarlett could sense the tension in their posture, the slightest twitch of their hand as they held a rolled parchment at their side. "It is," the envoy replied, their voice carefully neutral. "The council believes the situation to be beyond our control. You are uniquely positioned to help." Scarlett arched a brow, her curiosity piqued despite her irritation. Uniquely positioned, am I? She mused, her voice soft and dangerous. And here I thought the council made it clear I was never to be their equal. The envoy remained silent for a moment, their gaze flickering to the darkened interior of Scarlett's apartment before returning to meet her eyes. This is not about equality, Lady Nightshade. This is about survival. Scarlett studied the envoy for a long moment, the silence between them stretching thin. She could feel the weight of the council's desperation pressing against her, their arrogance chipped away by whatever danger now threatened them. It was almost amusing, watching them come crawling to her after centuries of scorn. With a slow, deliberate motion, Scarlett stepped inside, gesturing for the envoy to enter. "Very well," she said, her voice smooth and calm. "Come in. Let's see what the council deems so urgent that they've become begging at my door." The envoy entered with the solemnity of one who bore the weight of untold secrets. As they crossed the threshold, Scarlett's apartment seemed to draw closer around them, the relics and artifacts lining the walls casting long, watchful shadows in the lamplight. The air inside grew heavier, charged with the palpable tension of their meeting. Once inside, the envoy wasted no time. With a practiced flourish, they unfurled the parchment they had been carrying, the edges frayed and stained by the passage of time. The symbols etched upon it glowed faintly in the warm light, their intricate designs reminiscent of ancient magic, older than even Scarlett herself. "A prophecy has resurfaced," the envoy began, their voice low and deliberate, and though each word was being pulled from the depths of a dark abyss. "One that speaks of thinning veils between worlds, of rifts that tear at the very fabric of our reality." Scarlett's eyes flickered with interest, though she kept her expression carefully guarded. The air around them seemed to grow thicker with each passing word, their shadows in the room inching closer, as if the very walls were listening to the conversation. She had encountered prophecies before, but this one seemed to carry more weight than most, a harbinger of something far more dangerous than the council was letting on. "The council believes these events are no coincidence," the envoy continued, their voice tinged with barely concealed urgency. "They are harbingers of a convergence, of forces both ancient and malevolent colliding. The rift you encountered in the old quarter was only the beginning." Scarlett's eyes narrowed as she leaned back against her desk, her fingers brushing against the familiar wood. "And I assume you've come to me because the council, with all their wisdom and power, cannot handle this convergence on their own?" she asked, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "How very predictable." The envoy's face remained stoic, but their voice carried a trace of tension as they spoke. "The rifts are growing in number and strength. Each one destabilizes the barriers that keep our world from being overrun by forces we cannot control." Scarlett studied the envoy for a long moment, her mind racing through the possibilities. She had quelled rifts before, had faced the dark magic that tore at the boundaries between worlds. But if what the council was saying was true, this was no ordinary disturbance. Something ancient was awakening, and it was far more dangerous than the council was willing to admit. Scarlett's gaze shifted from the parchment in the envoy's hands to the glowing symbols etched upon it. The soft light they emitted pulsed faintly, as though the very words were alive, breathing with some ancient power that had long been forgotten. She could feel it, an old magic that lingered in the air, waiting to be unleashed. The weight of it pressed against her chest, stirring something deep within her that she hadn't felt in years. There we go. There's the dark. So that means it's time for a little bit of a break. I will grab my actual key light. And yeah, I'll see y'all in a couple of minutes. Are you enjoying this? We're still on chapter 2, y'all. Still on chapter 2. I'm having a blast. Even with the little spammers. The tiny little spammers that we give no attention to. But I do need to I need to go take a sip, and I need to refill my warm drink. 'Cause my throat's feeling it. You bet your happy ass I am, Crystal says. By the way, everybody, if you're not all following each other, if you're not subscribed to each other, subscribe to each other. Hit those little names, those little profile pictures, and subscribe to me if you haven't already. Hit that little profile picture, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell on YouTube to get notified every time I go live or every time I upload content, which I'm doing a lot of lately. Tons of. And we're ramping up even more too soon. You can't wait to have a copy. I know, Ken's, I'm so excited. Well, I know that you live pretty close to your mom, so I do have copies. And we'll chat. We'll chat. If I can send a copy with your mom when she comes out, I will. Because I would love for you to have a copy. I know you would have fun reading this on your own too. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to take a quick break. You guys take a break too. Get up, stretch, go do the voodoo that you do so well. I am going to grab my key light so I'm not sitting in the dark. And then when we come back, reconvene for the remainder of chapter 2, and then perhaps do a little bit of Q&A about these little styrofoam wig heads behind me. All right. See you in a couple. Thank you for being here. I love you all so very much. she's back. Oh my god. I turned to mute. Whoa. Did you guys just see that? Whoa. Oh, wow. Did you guys just see what happened on screen? With the chat, it just went like glitter. Yes, yeah, everywhere. What do you guys think of the music? I composed it all. I did it all. It's all mine. It's all your reading, your exclusive reading music. You took a shower. That's good. That's perfect timing. Perfect timing. I hope everybody who's in the disgusting temperatures has had the opportunity to cool off a little bit. Or, I don't know, maybe I need to tone it down. Because it's getting too hot. Anyway. Alright. So, I have lights. Wait. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, we got light. We got light. Let there be light. Wait. Okay. Let's turn this up. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now we have some good mood lighting. We've got red in the background. So we at least maintain the feeling of the Thursday night library. And you can see the girls better. You can see all the girls better. Okay. And this is kind of her off season, her beachy look. See, she's got a little fascinator. You need a shower. Humidity is bad. Yes. But I'm sure the humidity where you are is probably like you need a shower. You need a shower after the shower. That's the kind of humidity that I do not miss. I like it just enough to do something good to my hair. Like McFly was talking about earlier. Just enough to do something to the hair. And then I'm happy. Okay. All right. So are we ready to begin? Are we ready to begin again? I gotta listen to the volume level here. Hold on. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay. All the pianating happening. Good. Okay. I know. Why do you think I said it? That's why I said all the girls. Okay. Yeah, see, I'm only a fan of that under certain circumstances. And there goes the camera. Good timing while we're just sitting here. Okay. Everybody feeling good? Everybody ready to do the second half of this chapter and perhaps call it a night? Don't forget, everybody, I'm reading out of Bloodline. Now available as of today on Kindle. It's so good. It's all so good. So exciting. I'm turning off the view count because it's not accurate anyway. I need to train myself to not worry about that little number so much. And just focus on the people who are here because I love you. Okay. Let's slip right back into it, everybody. Take a deep breath. Let's do that old chestnut. So exciting. I know, it's so exciting. Oh my gosh. I cannot get over the level of activity after not having any activity whatsoever for at least 5 weeks. Dealing with utter nonsense. You like heat when you're in the pool or AC. Hey, speaking of the pool, did y'all see what I posted on Saturday? On the Instagrams? Okay. All right, I've taken a nice deep breath. You have all taken a nice deep breath, I'm guessing. Crystal continues with her self-cooling nonsense. All right, let's continue on. Let's continue on. On this channel, WSRN, home of the Siren Universe. WSRN, home of the Merfolk. Ding, ding, ding. So we're on chapter 2 of Bloodline. Here we go. And then after this chapter, I have to say goodbye because I'm only allowed to read 10% of the book at a time. I missed y'all. I know, I missed you guys too. I missed you so much. Oh my goodness. Where's my coffee cup? I cannot get enough to drink right now. Wow. Ugh. Ashley approved. Cheers. Okay. All right. Continuing on, shall we? Yes? All right. Let's go. Okay. So, last we left before the break, Lady Scarlett had unrolled the scroll from the envoy sent by the Vampiric Council because she could not believe that they were asking her, the outcast, for any kind of help whatsoever. Somebody coming into a little bit of sovereignty, it sounds like, yes? Scarlett's gaze shifted from the parchment in the envoy's hands to the glowing symbols etched upon it. The soft light they emitted pulsed faintly, as though the very words were alive, breathing with some ancient power that had long been forgotten. She could feel it, an old magic that lingered in the air, waiting to be unleashed. The weight of it pressed against her chest, stirring something deep within her that she hadn't felt in years. "And you believe these rifts are part of a prophecy?" Scarlett asked, her voice low, though her eyes glinted with curiosity. She moved away from the desk, circling slowly around the envoy like a predator stalking its prey. Her presence filled the room, the tension rising with every deliberate step she took. The envoy turned slightly, keeping their gaze on her, though their posture remained rigid, like someone standing in the presence of a dangerous force they could not control. "Yes," the envoy replied, their voice barely above a whisper. "A prophecy that speaks of the thinning veils between worlds. The barriers that separate our realm from the others are weakening. The Council believes this convergence is tied to an ancient force, one that has slumbered for millennia but is now stirring." Scarlett's lips quirked into a faint smile as she came to a stop in front of the envoy. "An ancient force, you say? And yet, with all their accumulated power and knowledge, the Council comes to me. What a curious turn of events." She leaned in slightly, her voice dropping to a dangerous whisper. "Tell me, what is it that you're not saying?" The envoy hesitated, their fingers tightening around the edge of the parchment. For a brief moment, Scarlett caught a flicker of uncertainty in their eyes, a crack in the carefully constructed mask they wore. "The Council has been monitoring these rifts for some time," the envoy admitted, their voice laced with reluctance. "We believed at first that they were isolated incidents, disruptions that we could contain, but as the rifts grew in number and intensity, we began to realize that something far older and far more dangerous was behind them." Scarlett's eyes narrowed as she crossed her arms, waiting for the envoy to continue. Go on, she said, her tone cold and sharp. The envoy took a slow breath, their gaze flickering to the dark corners of the room before returning to Scarlett. The Council has reason to believe that the rifts are not natural phenomena. They are being orchestrated. Something, or someone, is using dark magic to weaken the barriers between the worlds, to create openings where none should exist. The words hung in the air, thick with the weight of their implications. Scarlett's mind raced, sifting through centuries of knowledge, piecing together fragments of arcane lore and ancient prophecies that had warned of such events. The possibility of a deliberate attempt to weaken the barriers between worlds was not unheard of, but it was dangerous. Far more dangerous than the Council was likely prepared to handle. "And you believe this someone is tied to the prophecy?" Scarlett asked, her voice measured, though inside she was already calculating the risks. The envoy nodded, their expression grave. "The prophecy speaks of a time when the forces of the ancient world would rise again, seeking to reclaim what was once theirs. The thinning of the veils is a sign, the first sign, that the balance is shifting. If the rifts continue to grow, our world will be overrun by forces we cannot hope to contain. We need your help, Lady Nightshade. Your knowledge of both the ancient and modern worlds places you at the center of this storm." And there goes my key light again. Guess it didn't charge up enough this afternoon. There, we'll use that. Scarlett couldn't help but laugh softly, the sound low and dangerous. "So, the Great Council, after centuries of keeping me at arm's length, suddenly needs me to save them from their own arrogance? How predictable." She turned away, her fingers brushing lightly over the spines of ancient books lining her shelves. "I've quelled rifts before, envoy. This is not new territory for me. So, tell me, what makes this different?" The envoy's silence stretched for a moment too long, and Scarlett could almost taste the hesitation in the air. Finally, the envoy spoke, their voice quiet, but laden with the truth that they had been trying to avoid. "Because the rifts are tied to your lineage," they said. The words like a dagger plunged into the silence. "The magic that weakens the veils is the same magic that created you." Scarlett froze, her back still turned to the envoy, her hand hovering just above one of the books. For a moment, the room seemed to hold its breath. When she spoke, her voice was dangerously calm. "What did you say?" The envoy took a cautious step forward, sensing the rising tension in the air. "Your heritage, Lady Nightshade. Your unique blend of vampire and lichen blood. The Council believes that whoever is behind these rifts is using magic from the same source. The prophecy speaks of a hybrid, one born of two worlds, who will be at the center of the coming storm. You are not just a historian or a warrior. You are a key." Scarlett slowly turned, her eyes burning with a cold fire. The weight of the envoy's words settled over her like a shroud, but she remained outwardly composed, her face a mask of indifference. "So, you think my blood is responsible for these rifts? That somehow I'm the cause of all this?" The envoy shook their head quickly, sensing the danger in Scarlett's tone. No, not the cause. But your lineage makes you uniquely connected to the forces at play. The magic that binds the worlds is woven into your very existence. You are not the one creating the rifts, but you are the only one who can close them. Scarlett let out a slow breath, her mind racing with possibilities. This wasn't the first time her blood had been tied to prophecy, but it was the first time the council had acknowledged it openly. They had spent centuries pretending she didn't exist, treating her as an outlier, a mistake, and now here they were, desperate and afraid, coming to her as though she were their savior. The envoy continued, their voice tinged with urgency. The rifts are growing stronger, and each one further destabilizes the barriers that keep our world from being overrun. We need your help, Lady Nightshade. Whether you wish to acknowledge it or not, you are at the center of this storm. Your knowledge, your power, your blood, they are the only thing standing between us and the forces that seek to destroy everything. Scarlett's lips curved into a slow, calculating smile. She could feel the desperation radiating off the envoy, and for a brief moment, she relished it. The council, who had scorned her for so long, now came crawling to her door, asking for her help. And while she had no love for them, there was something undeniably thrilling about the power shift. She stepped closer to the envoy, her eyes gleaming with a mixture of amusement and danger. "Very well," she said, her voice low and filled with dark promise. "I will help. But make no mistake, I do this on my terms. The council may have to come to me for aid, but I am no one's pawn. Remember that." The envoy nodded, relief flickering across their features, though there was still a wariness in their gaze, as though they understood the dangerous game they were playing. "The council understands," they said softly, though the tension in their voice betrayed their unease. "But beware, Lady Nightshade. Power shifts as easily as the tides. The council may seek your aid now, but do not forget they will not hesitate to turn against you when it suits them." Scarlett watched the envoy for a long moment, the flickering light casting strange shadows across her face. Her smile was cold, her voice even colder. "I never forget," she said softly, "and I never forgive. You tell your council I am no one's ally by choice. I am the shadow they fear when they close their eyes, and I will be reckoning they cannot escape." The envoy bowed their heads slightly before turning and moving toward the door, their dark robes trailing behind them like a shadow. Scarlett watched them go, the weight of their words settling over her like a heavy cloak. The room grew still once more, the flickering light of the alchemical lamps casting long shadows across the ancient tomes and relics that filled her sanctuary. As the door closed behind the envoy, Scarlett stood alone in the dim light, her mind already turning over the pieces of the prophecy and the implications of what had just been revealed. The council was desperate, that much was clear. But this was bigger than just them. The prophecy, the rifts, her bloodline, it was all connected, woven together in ways she had yet to fully understand. "Lucio John, hey, what's up? How are you? Good to see you." Welcome in. Happy Thursday. I know, it's not a typical Thursday, is it? But that's okay. It was too hot to function. We weren't going to do this. But it's exciting, Lucio John, because guess what? Bloodline is available on Kindle now, as of today, and I'm actually reading from the Kindle version right now, which is so wonderful because I cannot wait to finish up the audiobook version of this. So we'll have 3 formats of it. How fun. So what is up in your world? What is going on? Anything to share with the class? And I'm going to continue on with the chapter. She moved back to her desk, her fingers brushing over the parchment the envoy had left behind. The symbols etched upon it glowed faintly, as though mocking her with their secrets. The council had come to hear her out of desperation, but she knew their fear ran deeper than any prophecy. They feared her. They feared what she represented, a force they could no longer control. Scarlett's lips curled into a slow smile as she ran her fingers over that parchment. Whatever was coming, it was bigger than any of them. The council, the Nightshades, the lichens and vampires still bound by ancient pacts. They were all just players on a board being reshaped by forces older and far more dangerous than any of them could comprehend. And Scarlett, ever the opportunist, intended to be the one to tip the scales in her favor. The game was on, and Scarlet Nightshade had no intention of losing. There we go, y'all. That's the end of chapter 2. What are we thinking? What's going on? What is going on? Are we going to continue for another page or two? Maybe open up chapter 3 a little bit and then call it a night? Or are we going to just be done for tonight? Because I could go either way at this point. Because it's late and I still have a lot of things to do tonight. Believe it or not. I don't know how you all are feeling. But you gotta let me know. Let me know if you want me to hang around. Rox, hello, Rox. Rox on the TikToks. Oh, I forgot to do the little sign-off thing. Audible hopes you've enjoyed this program. There. Save chapter 3. Okay. All right. Well, shall we put it to a vote? Shall we do something in Lady Scarlett fashion and put it to a vote? Since we didn't do any choose your own adventure story tonight. What should we do? Red hearts, begin chapter 3. Green hearts, save it for next time. Bravo! Mille grazie, Crystal. That was so much fun. I really do love narrating for you guys. I love it. And okay. Emily says green arts. Emily says leave it. Wait. Easy now. Hush, love, hush. Okay, it's up to you. I could go all night. I'll bet you could. Honestly, like when I'm recording 2 hours is usually about it. That's about as how many pitches I got in me in a session. So we're doing pretty good so far. Like now it's interesting though because singing, totally different ball game. Like speech cadence sits in a different part of your throat as singing does. Like because singing doesn't really sit there. Singing kind of floats above and goes over because you're sustaining spoken tone. And I don't know. I'm not going to get into a pedagogy lesson. It's too late. Too late at night. It's too late, baby, now it's too late. Leave them wanting more. See, now that I've explained it, Crystal says, nah, save it. You may leave. You are released. You are dismissed. Okay. Well, and we know that there's latency on YouTube. We know that there's a delay between the comments and them popping up on my side or on the screen at all. So I'm just gonna hang out and wait and see if I get any more here in a sec. See if we get any more votes. Because right now all I see are green hearts. I don't see any red hearts. Oh, baby Mooney has become the social butterfly. Oh, okay, gotcha. That old chestnut. I don't know how you do it. I honestly don't know how you do it. What are we voting on? We're voting on whether or not to keep reading. Am I dismissed? Or are we going to start chapter 3? So red hearts, keep going and torture me for another hour. Oh, the exquisite torture. Or green hearts, we're ending the stream. Because that's not the wishy-washiest answer ever. God, Emily and Crystal were so decisive. It was like, no, you will leave. You will go. Gitano, hello. Release the Kraken. Oh, Lord. Okay. So, let's not get into all that tonight. Speaking of releasing Krakens, though. No, I do not have plushies coming out, but we definitely have, like, merch is being turned over still. We're back to all of those plans that we started at the beginning of May that were completely derailed by the hackers. The hackers. And, I don't know, expect some cool stuff. How did you guys like this microphone tonight? This was my early birthday present. Do we like the sound of this? I love it. Personally, I'm in love with this mic for speech and for singing. It rolls off all of those really shrill high frequencies that a female voice just naturally has, and it makes it darker and richer. But that's just me. That's just what I hear. It's almost like I say it's like singing in a mirror. It's like speaking into a mirror. Because it's actually what I hear in my own like skull's head chamber, echo chamber, when I'm speaking into this, and then I listen back to the recording. It is exactly what I have in my skull. That resonance, like when you listen to yourself like in your own head, it sounds totally different than what someone else hears from you, or like if you hear yourself on a recording. This is exact polar opposite. The last couple of weeks have been a lot, but it's happening. Yes. The sound of it is amazing. Thank you. I have to agree. This is an awesome company. They're called Mojave Audio, and they're based out of New Mexico. And this is their first dynamic microphone ever. They're known for condenser mics, which up until this point, I actually was using a condenser mic with you guys in this setup. You spit when you hear about the hackers. Yes. Your mother was a hamster. Yeah. But also same. And they can just stop now. They have stopped. It's over. We're not putting that in our existence anymore. No more. Please, no more. So, all right, guys. Well, I guess we're gonna call it then. We're gonna call it, and we're gonna have a good night, and everybody's just gonna try and find some relief from the heat and go to bed and have a good sleep tonight. Yeah, all of us. Maybe not me. I'll be up until 4:30 this morning again. And your father smelt of elderberries. That's right. Sleep? I know. Well, I figured out why I can't sleep. It's because I haven't reached Brooklyn. Oh, that's just bots. Okay. Yeah, we gotta change that now. Beep. Yes. So okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you so very much for being here tonight, and thank you for participating in this very strange little stream. This very strange, what the heck has this been stream? It would be good. Yeah. No, thank you. I'll be up. Thank you. Oh, good night. Good night, and I love you all. I love you right to the ocean's edge and back again. Good night, everybody. Bye. And don't forget, once we get Patreon back, once we're unhacked from there too, God, do they ever end? Once we get unhacked, you will be receiving this playlist, this read-along playlist of original music, including Lady Scarlett's Waltz and Lady Scarlett's piano theme, in the book club. And now there's even more reason to join book club because Bloodline is on Kindle. All right, I love you. Bye. Okay, I love you. Bye. Okay, I love you. Bye.